Okay, I guess today we'll start with OCR content handler and docx download service. These are the two minor services which are integrated in Anuvaad. OCR content handler for the data actions which are done for which one? Digitization of the insertion, deletion, saving of the data, retrieving of the data into MongoDB. And docx download is the service which can download PDF files into docx file, converting them, making taking the office content into. Karthik is pinging me. I can ping him later. Oh, your battery level. My battery. Okay, sure, yeah. USB. Can you give me the charger? C type. Yes. Thank you. Let's start with OCR content handler. So in previous session, I have told you about content handler for translation flow. This is same as the content handler functionality, same as whatever I have said in the translation flow. This is one of the microservice which handles for only digitization pipeline. So here we have three APIs. Okay, let's get straight into API section. So coming to OCR content handler, this particular folder will be in data take input from fetch content of uh, sorry no, GB server. The same thing can also take it from Tesseract or any other of these also. Yes. Okay. So I will completely explain those functionality, Tesseract, GB server, and digitization flows when I'll be explaining those things. I'll explain what exactly is content handler. I mean, I've already explained in the translation section, but this is for only digitization. Here it's a minimal and we have only three APIs. And this Anuvaad directory ETL extractor, and here comes the OCR content handler section. Okay, so initially this was done by uh, created by Jaini. She handed over it for me, and now I'm handling. Now I'll handle to moving further whoever takes care of these things. Okay, Pinto, Dheeraj, or Ratan, you. Okay, so we have the there is already a minor documentation in the repo itself, another repo. So I can go and view it. So we have three APIs. One is saving of the document, one is updating of the particular word if the OCR is not proper. Another one is fetching of the document. It's same as fetch content what you see in the this one translation API, fetch content API. Okay, let's get into saving of the OCR. When the job is done in the OCR end, say like let's take an example. It's still processing. Say like this is one digitization pipeline, and this is one example. Okay, the output structure looks like this. Let me just grab this JSON. I already have it. Okay, same JSON. Okay, output structures look like this. So the input will be the input of the previous tool. The previous tool in the sense layout detector or block segmenter or whatever it's on. That's JSON will be passed on here. So previously so in each and every services of digitization, so we have something like 5 or 6 services: word detector, layout detector, block segmenter. So another one is either if you are running a Google Vision API, you'll be running one microservice for OCR GB server, or if you are running custom made Tesseract, you'll be running the OCR Tesseract server. That's the service names what I have specified there. So from the beginning, from the word detector end, so the JSON will keep on enriching. So word detector will give will what you can say extract the images, and if there is a detection of lines, it will detect those lines. Line detection will happen, and then it will be passed on to layout detector for layout detection, para, header, footer, those kind of detections, and table detections. Next, it will be enriched to block segmenter. So block segmenter for font detection. So as of now, font detection is not happening as such properly. Okay, we can make it as a legacy in the future end. So I'll explain the when I'm explaining block segmenter cycle. Then it goes to either Google Vision or Tesseract cycle for doing OCR. So after that, before going to tokenizer, it is saving those document in. I mean, it's calling the content handler API, which is created whole and solely for this particular digitization service. It will take page by page blocks and it will start to save in MongoDB data. Okay, so the data may look like this. So if this is a JSON file, this is the output page of the final outcome. So you'll be having in outputs, you'll be having the pages. So in these pages, you'll be having the pages data. So each and every page has an identifier, different UUID. Okay. So for each and every page, you will be having resolution. So how many? Currently, we have set defaultly for 300 DPI, and there is a path for specifying where exactly this particular image is being stored. Okay. So digitization, we are storing when the PDF or any or a JPG image is being added. So it will initially convert it into a PDF form. Then word detector will break down into image forms. Then these images will be stored under UUID folder, which it internally creates. Under that images, this will be created. We grab onto this and just want to check with this particular image, not this one. Okay, this is the backend API. You can see the resized and made 300 DPI images here. Okay, this is the original image. So while passing on to each and every sections in layout detector or block segmenter, you will pick up this image. So in each and every regions will be having either in line data or layout detection data or anything like that, and it will be passed on. So here after that, so each page you'll be having three regions. How what are those regions? So first level is the para region. Make sure that each and every region's first segment, I mean first page will be the background image. Sorry to interrupt. There was supposed like we have 7 regions, regions like header, footer, math, all those things. That will come under layout detection. Okay, here for it's the final outcome of everything. I should know the difference. This is the final outcome. When I'm gonna explain the layout detector, I will come back to this procedure again. I'm just explaining the output structure, how it's gonna insert it into DB, content handler DB. Okay. When I will be explaining the digitization pipeline flow, layout detector, I will say each and every class where exactly this will come and all. Then you'll get the whole idea. So this session will just give it for the in just hold and solve data operation. That's all. So for this one, each and every regions, the each in one in a page, the first block regions in the array of regions, the first page will be always a background images. Okay, if we gonna select this particular background image, so the background image is nothing but select if this is the original image and I want a image where background image. I mean, currently we are just making a white patches on top of this text. That's all. Background image. It looks like this with the patchy texts, where the OCR text will be replaced on top of here. Just replaced. But in the next current for future making. In I'll explain those things where you need to make couple of changes in making patches into background. Select the word and look up the background image curve segmentation and just bring it here so that the color correlation adjust with that. Okay. So first one will be background images. Second will be either if it is a header will be there. Next footer will be there and the text for that. And after that, this is the final outcome of whole procedure. The tokenized sentence will be done. Okay. So and next comes the para level. Okay. This is the para level. So see that each and every level I said will be having three levels, right? This is just a class level. The first level is the header or a para or anything. Just keep in mind that you are having three level. One is with respect to paragraphs, one is with respect to line, one is with respect to word. Say that if it is only word also, then also we'll be having three levels. For each and every level, I will be giving you the bounding boxes of that those levels. Okay, bounding box coordinate, XY coordinates of those levels. So let's say like if this is the introduction, the header part, where it is, it's in the first page. Say that this is the introduction. Okay, this is an introduction. So this particular is only one word. So when Google Vision API will be hit, so internally it will give you outcome as three layers: para, line, then word. So each and every level will be having bounding boxes. These bounding boxes I am not creating. Google will be creating. But I don't want those bounding boxes. Those bounding boxes will be at the line level, para level, those level and all. So for me, I have internally specified layout boxes, right? At para level, I will be replacing those bounding boxes on top of the Google, whatever Google Vision is giving. So okay, this is with respect to Google Vision. When it comes to Tesseract, Tesseract doesn't give you normally bounding boxes like this. I am making output structure as same as whatever the Google Vision or the it is giving out. But in Tesseract, I'm internally making those structures and saving in the same format. I'm retaining the same format. I'm internally making the format. Okay. When I explain the Tesseract format, we'll come to know completely. Okay. This is one word. This bounding box will be saved in first level, para level. Next comes the line level. I just started. Okay. Next comes the line level when saving. So here also you'll get an identifier. You'll get the bounding boxes of that. Huh? So this bounding boxes, it will be somewhat different than the paragraph. A paragraph where you will get the whole the whole box. Say that this is introduction. It not only specify with respect to only this block, but it will see with respect to the whole page. This is a page. You will have page height and width minus this particular block, rectangular format wherever you got in. Then you'll get that coordinate. Then I'll be replacing this coordinate with this particular vertices and bounding boxes. Same goes with the line level, only with respect to that line. Then comes fonts. Currently, we are specifying Arial, Unicode, MS for everything. Okay. Then comes another region. This is the last region where word, these confidence scores, languages, text is all returned by Google Vision, the Google Vision. Same thing, I'll be doing it for Tesseract because that's a custom one. Hmm? This is the output format. So for each and every region, say like I'll take the second region. So this is one of the tokenized sentences. Let's say like this. Okay. The text is like this. And if you can see there are two regions here. Region one is one line where it says it will have some 12 number of words. Each and every word by word it will be detected. Okay. It's like I have been on a crusade for more than 50 years. And line level, if you call it, you will get the line level bonding box. For word level bonding box will be written. Line level, the whole line. When it comes to para, this one. Where it go? This one. Till themselves, it's there now. Before the tokenized one, this one is the para. Whatever it's there in that particular line, it will be generated. So this is the output structure. Okay, page by page by page. Now, in content handler, how will we insert these things? We have to insert it page by page as a block by block by block. Let's see the API. In this, save document is the API, which is called internally in Tesseract server, Tesseract microservice, or in GV server microservice. Okay, wherein you need a files. File should be there. These things, everything will be passed via workflow manager. Right. So I need these things to process and insert it into MongoDB. Record ID.
So is this like content handler is not directly called by GV server and Tesseract modules? It will be going back to workflow manager and then OCR content handler.
No, no, it's not like that.
Okay, directly through the
Directly services will be calling.
Got it.
As your translator service will be called directly to content handler, workflow has nothing to do with the content handler. So workflow just says that this is job started, this is in progress, this is ended. We'll just keep track of that. But workflow will not do anything such kind of operations. But these two services, whatever I'm doing, the core services, I'll be handling these things. Getting your workflow will be sending these informations. Even the record ID, which is generated, workflow will be sending the user ID and all. I can get it via Zoom. We'll be getting that. Okay. These are all the data. So initial ways, I mean, initial any minimal validations are kept here. It's normal. You can go through the code. Okay. Then next comes the storing the data. Who has stored that with respect to record ID and with respect to the file. Files in the sense JSON file. JSON file. It will read the JSON file. It will read page by page by page by page, block by block by block by block, and then it will start to store. Let's go to store function. In the store function, what is needed? Job ID. Record ID is the combination of job ID pipe JSON file name. I'll get the job ID via splitting those functions. File ID, I'll get the identifier as I shown you in this particular data. This is the identifier. Identifier is kept as JSON file name only. It's not any UID at all. Okay. File name, whatever it's given, the JSON file name will be given. Language, whatever the language user has specified. What is the file type? File type will be taken. And pages. Okay. Pages are wherever I shown you on the post space. And then we make a loop on pages. Okay. Uh, don't worry about this if block, this length of 5. It will directly just go to the blocks. Okay. Then next create regions. So now we already have this input parameters to append user ID, job ID, record ID. All these features will be updated for per page wise. Okay. And when it has created on here, I'm creating when the it has made write operation on the DB. Okay. Here I will get the page number where I'll be getting from page info. So there is one more parameter called page info where it's just a image names. Okay, image names. But from here I'll get the length of images and length of pages, how many pages I have in per document. From here I'll get page info and I'll just be appending with that page number. Page identifier is nothing but the identifier which I'll be getting it from each page by page by page identifiers. Say like this is the 0th page, this is the identifier, this is the first identifier, and also the duplicate path will be given the same whatever you assign in page info. Okay, and the next bounding box. Here, bounding box is where you'll be storing the first two bounding box of this one. This is a page bounding box. Each and every page will have one separate bounding box. Say like if this is one page introduction, this whole image bounding box is put there and added here. This is page wise. When it comes to region wise para. Next line on those each para. Then comes word. It's like that structure.
So
Yes.
we'll go ahead. I'll ask the next one.
Okay. And image path is where we'll be taking inside this particular page. There is a path. So we'll be taking this image and we'll be appending it there. Okay. And next resolution. Page resolution. We are using 300 dpi for all the images all over the statically all over the image. 300 dpi is the set resolution for all of them. 72 is too low, so we have to give for this one. Next, page info. We'll be giving out the page info, and there are some couple of refactors to be made on this on this end also while appending it to MongoDB. So the current use case is in such a way that it's been.
Can you just ping that Yunus?
Okay. Where about it? So current situation is where when you are saving the document each and every time, I see that there are multiple and a huge number of documents are being saved where it is increasing db day by day by day. The db size is pretty much increasingly. If you look at the translator collection db and compare it with the digitization should be smaller than the translation, but it's not like that. There is some duplication happening. Instead of having, if there is a 3 GB of data in translation db, I can see here 90 GB is consumed by translation. I can see some n number of loop is running and duplication is happening via this save document. Okay, somebody has to take care and refactor these things. You have to verify where exactly on how exactly you can do. If you wanna refactor the whole save document and the fetch content thing. So I'll explain the current procedures, whatever it's there now. Now the page info, you got the page infos are there, page by page by page. And regions, we are not touching anything there. We are just appending the regions to that particular block. That's all. That page. It's like you see this particular block. This is a page. It's just copying it to DB. That's all. We're not doing anything more than that. Okay. Then store regions have been created now. Next, we'll store that in bulk. Insert many 12 pages, 12 blocks. If you can see here, can you identify there is one mistake? I just found out in this creating this region. Can you identify any mistakes here?
What's you're only returning page of regions. What's the point in creating the other ones?
That's right. That's one thing. There is another thing. Look at this page info.
Mhm.
Page info. It says that here it's a blank array. Right. Each and every block, if you take a look at that, it's appending multiple times. If there is a 12 page infos are there, 12 blocks will be appended. That's one thing. We need to remove that. It's been a long that I have reviewed this thing.
Need to go through the entire code to figure these things in individual
It's
things.
it's written in normal simple way only. I mean, just CRUD operations are there, and minimal number of uh, validations are given kept. That's fine for now. After that, it's just store in bulk operation. So in bulk, it is stored that directly. It's now it's done. Okay, this is done. Insert many, it's updated already. This is all with respect to save document. Okay. Uh, don't know this. Mhm. Validate input parameters. Document to be saved and converted into blocks. Blocks of pages, as I said. Each block contains regions such as line word table, as I said. Every block is created with UUID. I have given the identifiers. Save blocks in DB. That's all. It looks like this. Whatever I shown you, the output structure, it looks like this. The same way it is being saved here. Okay. This is the format. Now, next, do you have any doubts in this API? Save
No,
into Tiraj. Now let's go to uh, fetch content, fetch document API. This API is similarly as of translation flow. Okay, similar to translation flow. Whatever I have said, the same thing. Start page, end page structure, and adding those parameters. It's same to same. Okay, there's no changes. The only thing is we are returning the digitization format. That's all. In the sense, say like this.
so this will be a sync flow.
It's not a sync flow. It's just a direct call to fetch content.
Oh,
See, fetch content in translation. This is fetch document. I mean, just API name change. That's all. If you see this thing, say that I want for the second page only. I'll give the start pages one and end pages two. So I'll just get the start page. If I keep this params to 0, 0, I'll get the whole data, whole bunch of data combining of all the blocks. Same as fetch content. There's nothing more and nothing less here. Start to two and into two. Just a get API. Query to Mongo. See, first I'll get all the pages, start page and end page. So the same thing. Start page can be zero and end page can be zero. Means enter all the document.
one query though, not exactly related to this API endpoint. But in our case right here, you're storing the images with those blanked out text areas as well. The background images with the blanked out text areas, those will be appended with the text during docx download. Or sorry, during the download of this, sorry, not docx, during download of this file, digitized file, or well, because in the UI, the digitized file, we see only the text on top of a blank background in UI. So this attaching of these words on top of that is done at a later process when downloading.
See, I'll show here. You can see blank now.
Correct.
Click on this show image. UI has this feasibility that it can show you this blank image as of now. Pinto has worked on another approach where removing these patches and append those background color only, right? It's already done. It's deployed. I'm showing you the production data. I haven't seen the developers. I'm running UI locally in this one for the docx one also. Currently, you can, in the UI, you can view like this, but while downloading, images are not being appended in the background. It's not like that. Okay, the docx has to be refactored from the scratch and has to be appended somewhere. Even docx and a PDF download. Say like if I can download this one as a PDF. Let me show you this PDF. It comes like this. There's nothing. Okay. PDF, it's nothing there. Everything is blank to blank and no images are being added. But when we are making things, we need to add images also. So like from I think from UI perspective, we can achieve. This is a HTML format you are showing. Take this HTML format, convert it into XML, you get a docx. Same converted into PDF. You get the PDF format. Okay. Digital content, go into digital content. Instead of calling a separate backend API,
Right.
don't go there. Do it from the UI itself. For that, speak with the UI guys, speak with Merlank or any other team members, make this done. So that the download approach of PDF or docx, it will be reduced. You can remove this API, make it as legacy. Currently, we are hitting each separate service for docx and separate service for PDF. Document converter for PDF, TXT, and docx download for docx. Okay. In the matter of if the source is PDF, okay. If the source is docx, it can only download docx. Don't have any PDF source. That's all. Okay. This is one thing. Same as whatever I said in the content handler.
Yeah, the fetch page.
Yes. Uh, get pages. Same thing. Same functionality. Nothing more, nothing less. Get the records. Record ID is there. Page number is the page info. With respect to that, get the page. That's all. Okay. Straight away call. Now let's go to updating of the word. Even updating of the word in the sense in the UI when we select, when we
Yeah.
click on this, comes introduction. I can make any changes here. Introduction to something. And save it. So here directly content handler update API will be called. What exactly it needs payload? It needs payload of record ID and page number.
So this is where there is one issue where update word is also available in translation UI where it should not be because it makes no sense. Okay.
It makes no sense, yeah.
Now
See
we get it.
when say like this update is good for digitization. OCR can give you either of if you use any of the engine, Deseret or Google Vision, 90% you can expect accuracy because the same text will be updated here only. There is something issue. You can update in yourself only. You can update. Okay. For this, what you require? Record ID, region ID. Region ID is nothing but the identifier, which is this particular word is in that page. Update word. What is the new word which is you're gonna do? And for that you are gonna add the another word ID for the same thing. Okay, saying that this is a new word ID. How it is being saved? Preview will be page number 2, record ID, update ID, the same will be returned out. How exactly it is saved here? Let's check it out. User ID, it will add by it via Azure. Words should be there. You can add it in list also. If you have made UI changes better, you can add much more easier and user friendly. Update words. Let's go. Page number, region ID, word ID, record ID, update word should be there. As I said there. Okay. In region update, first we'll be getting the word region. What you require? Record ID, region ID, page. Page number will be given. Record ID is given. Region ID. Region ID is nothing but the identifier. Per page, you will be having the one UUID identifier, right? This one. This one. This is the identifier. It's just named as identifier. Okay. First, you'll get that identifier. See, identifier is nothing but the region ID. You'll get the word region. Straight away Mongo command. Filter it out. User ID, record ID, page number. With respect to that, regions you'll get. Then the region ID identifier. You'll get this region. If the word length is equal to 1, we'll just change it to whatever the user is giving out. Okay. Now, okay. Now I got the word region. Identifier is being changed to region ID. Whatever the new one is being specified, updated will be made to true. Okay. And next word ID will be thrown out. New word ID. This will be new thing. New one will be generated. What is the new word OCR text? the old text will be replaced with the new updated word. Okay, if these requirement doesn't pass, it will throw error, the data is missing. Now just update the word with record id, region id, check for this thing, user id, page info, regions. Now just set it for this region id and make this. Okay, update word, this one is updated, sorry, this is update
You were
word.
searching for the word set or something
Yeah.
about it.
I just misread that. Okay, here you are updating the users id.
Line push. Oh, this can also be made into one call.
You're just pulling and now you're pushing.
It's taking out from the
Ah.
array and inserting back into the array.
The same thing.
Mm.
Same format, yeah. This is just the updating of the word. This is what OCR content handler is. There's no much of to do. 3 APIs, simple and straightforward. Some here and around refactor and changes are to be done. You figure it out and take care of that. Okay. This is OCR content handler. Now, question and answers. If you have anything, you can ask me now.
I'll go through it, then I might have questions. I'll take some time to go through it first.
Pinto, you'll go through. Dheeraj,
Same.
stop doodling. Sure. I think this is for who's your content handler. Now let's start with
No, but can we have a conversation on this later? Tomorrow would be the best time after 10. Thank you.
this is for OCR content handler. Let's start with docx download. Can you ping Mrugank and ask him to join here?
Node.js module, is it?
Yes. Can anyone?
We want to stop the recording so these can go as separate files.
Let it go.
If you want.
Okay. Let it join. Yeah, he has already sent. Check. He's joining.
He joined.
Okay. Mrugank. Mrugank is here.
Hi, Harshman. Hello.
I'm Mrugank. Mrugank, I'm just giving the KT of docx download. So you can be also aware of, I think you already have the minor clue what exactly is happening here. But yeah, you be part of this, and I think further, if any changes required, as it's a Node.js, you can take care of these things.
Sure.
Okay.
Please go.
Let's start with the Node.js application. Oh, no, sorry, the docx download service. Okay. In Anuvaad, we have two services. One specifically written for PDF to docx. If the source document is PDF, the download format should be can be downloaded via PDF also, in docx also, txt also, excel also. And if the source document is any other file extension rather than PDF, like HTML, docx, pptx, these three formats, there is a service called file translator. File translator will take care of these services. File translator can take care of these services and download with respect to the docx format. So if the source document is docx, pptx, or odt or html, uh, currently there is no feasible feature to download as pdf. Okay, so it can only download as txt or xlsx or the respective format, whatever it's been given. I mean, not respective, only docx format is able to download. So if it's required to download as a PDF, you might wanna upgrade in file translator for the docx services. Coming back to docx download, this service initially it was written by Roshan. Okay, afterwards some of the old UI people were handling. Since there was some critical issues, I stepped up and I owned that particular thing, and I was handling all the docx download responsibilities. Now I'll push it to either Mrudang's bucket or Ratan's bucket. You can look over and take it out. This is written in Node.js. This is a simple service, okay? Less coding and just they've been using some own packages and it's been going on and it's done in Node.js. And see, if the source is PDF, uh, you don't know if you can make it into docx again. PDF can be have a number of variations. It can be scanned or it can be a digital or it can be image kind of a thing also. Nothing can be predicted. Out of that, say like block merger or digitization, it can extract text and send it to translation. Digitization, it will extract text and it will make it digital. But how can you download that? So how can you download that digital content? Say like I have where exactly is this? Say this is one image. This is an image. I want to download this particular image in same format. Okay, in same format, in same alignment. I can do it in PDF. No worries. But how can I download it in docx? I can't convert PDF to docx and use some other tool because it will screw up. I don't want that. But before that, how can I get that particular docx? If the source document itself is in a critical condition or in a PDF or some kind of that, I can't identify any patterns in that. Say like if some other softwares like Adobe or something, if they have made a PDF, their pattern and their structure is completely different rather than any of the other PDF, whatever. Then Play Store or in mobile, whatever you can scan on, you can make a PDF. Nowadays, everyone can make a document out of PDF and export it in any format. So, how can you achieve this particular goal? So, I mean, we couldn't be any sure of it, but the current version of downloading docx is just a naive version. Can say version 0. You want to upgrade it to a version 1. I mean, you have to completely refactor it and make over whole over again. So initially we have before coming to this picture, I have tried with Python versions also and the Java versions also. Java version with what is its name? So I'm forgetting with Apache. mm, there is one package with license to Apache only. So I have tried with that, but it didn't work as expected. It failed in many cases. First and critical thing is docx will be failing to adjust in table cases. That is the first and foremost thing. In translation, it is fixed. Okay, no worries on that. Digitization due to some lack of issue in the table structure model. So the format it downloads and aligns, it might go wrong there. Okay, I will show you in the upcoming demos now. Okay, let me quickly just run over how docx works. This is Anuvaad screen. In this download, there is three options: text to PDF to docx. PDF and TXT are written in separate service called as document converter. So if the source is PDF, so if it says like download as docx, this is a separate service written in Node.js. If I click on this docx, it will call the docx download docx service, and it downloads me the entire file where you can see the text the alignment is completely messed up. Don't worry about that, because since docx is a floating point text formation, the text can't be aligned in the same format wherein you can't align anywhere. Okay, it's a floating point text. Text will be going here and down. It's not like a PDF or image that you can align this particular region or in particular bounding box for that particular page. You can't align. It's a floating point. That's why it's kept minimal and name. It's same as whatever we are doing in TXT format. So you will get the output properly, whatever it's there, scanned or any other kind of format, digital also. You will get the digital text extracted. Okay, let's get to the code used. Okay, where it is. Okay, the packages used here is called which one? HTML docx.js. This is the package. Uh, you can this is the this one and office gen. These are the two packages which we are using to download as docx. So mainly office gen is the one package which we are using. So this you can download it in npm stores. npm is same as what we are using for pip in python. Okay, so this is the first version of docx which is created. Okay, and if you want to try it in local, you just have to install just install node.js and npm install and npm start. That's all. The service will be started. Okay, start.js for to start the server. So the Docker file is also made ready. So we are taking node version of 14 here. Okay, and let's go to server.js. So before that, when so docx service will be calling two APIs internally to get the data. Content handlers APIs, both fetch content APIs. Okay, both are fetch content APIs only. So you will get the JSON data. After getting JSON data, it will loop over all the text and the bounding boxes if it is there, and then it will find the text and the class of the text if it is table or a image or any other kind of stuff, and then it will align to that. Okay, so if you are trying it in your local, I would suggest that use the same comment out whatever I'm showing on the screen. So initially this looks like this. Okay, the left side is the one. Okay, there are two variables aligned in server, OCR content handlers and the content handler. Okay, internal calls, both internal calls. So in server, it's an internal call. If you want to use outside of the server, use this external call and get it done with that. Okay. Configurations, these are the two configurations: content handler, OCR content handler, module.export these two variables so that you can access in other folders also. Server.js is the main file where we write our express code. So install, get the express code first. Fs is for file store. Generate docx is function where we have, uh, I'll talk about later. So we are importing some of the functionalities from your docx. So generate docx.js is for translation flow. Generate docx new is for digitization flow. Utils for translation, utils new for digitization. So you might wanna restructure all these and rename it. Okay, it's in naive base. I have not touched and I have not changed it anything. Okay, for internal calls specifically, I am using here HTTP and HTTPS. Why? Because I faced this issue wherein I couldn't able to call the service internally in server, specifying the whole context path of the say like if god.anuvaad.org is the one host HTTPS. I can't completely give the full host name. So I need to break down into parts like give a host name, remove the protocol, because these packages will add the protocols internally, and it will pass it on. Okay. So I'm using this HTTP for internal calls. Refactoring the JSONs, I'll come next. So body parser is the uh, initial body parsing for parsing any arguments or routing points for express. Okay. Path also you need for upload path to upload that particular path and download. You need this thing. HTML docx for HTML file. Currently not using, it's just an experimental process. Okay. Cost should be there. If cost is not added in Express, it will fail in all around. You can't access outside of this. Now let's see. First, using body parcel, you'll initialize the Express app, and then first you will use for request and response if it is working or not. Just a health request. Okay. Next. So this docx v0 docx download. This is for content handler. I mean, you need to say which one? The translation flow. This is for translation flow. So what you need to pass is, you need to pass in the request is file name, job ID, auth token, job name. Okay. In the body, in the payload, you need to pass all these things. This looks similarly like this. File name, whatever the file name you're suggesting to download as, give that file name. The job ID, job ID is the record ID. Pipe those things. Job name, what's the, what is the file name of the job? Currently we are just taking auth token. Actually this auth token job name, it's not required, can remove it in later versions if you wanna upgrade it on. Okay. Now, as I said, so I want to break a call internally, so I'll keep a variable called options, and get the content handler host to call the content handler. Okay. I need record ID to call the fetch content API. Okay. Start page and end page is kept to 0 because I need whole data, complete data, as I said in the content handler API script. And for this to call, I need auth token. Internally we don't need internal APIs, we don't need auth token to be called. Okay. Since they were using the whole HTTPS API, the secured API in inside the service only, that's why they are kept for auth token. Because if auth token is not parsed, it couldn't able to identify which user is being calling it. So that's why when making internally, I didn't take anything here. Okay. I have not changed the payload. Just make sure when anyone is doing the next upgradations, remove the auth token also. Internal API calls doesn't need auth token.
It's not going through Zoom.
It's not going through Zool. It's just directly calling this particular the servers only. Okay. And specify this port number also while deploying to server. When you're running on local, just comment it out and let it go. In server, specify the port number also, wherever it's if the port is using, or if you are deployed in a Kubernetes or something, you won't be having port number, you'll just have the host, that's all. Just mention the port number also. So after that, make the HTTP request. Okay. Make sure to call HTTPS HTTP request, their internal server. Okay. Then if the status code is to 200, then it will start to work around. You will get the data in JSON format. The output structure will be refactored. So let's go to this refactor JSON. How the refactor JSON is added? It will go through all the blocks, each one page by page by page. Text blocks are there. For each text blocks, it will see if there is a table, it will add the table attribute. If it is an image, it will add that image attribute, and it will just push it on. You can see here for images also. it will push to one list, a sorted list. Say that this is the function wherein you will have this page info, page number. So for each page, you will have this particular text. The sorted data will be generated, and the JSON will be kept ready. Next, what are we doing? Where is it? What are we doing? We are writing this to a file called source.json. Okay, I'm writing this to a file called source.json. You can view the source.json like this. Let me show you the whole structure. Say if this is a source.json, this doesn't look like your normal output structure because everything is refactored and sorted into an array, simple array, nothing more than that, normal array. Open that, you'll get bounding boxes, path, the regions, whatever it's there, whatever you have seen in the digitization flow, it will be there. So even if there is a table, I mean table is there, table path is there, so it will keep on adding. Now for this one, this seems to be a problem. Why? Because here each and every time when you're downloading the source file, it will be keep on regenerating each and every files to download. It will go, it will sort the data, then it will write to file, then from file I will read it, read those particular structured data, and then make the docx. But rather than making into a file, call it on the fly, keep the JSON in the stored format, just send it on. I didn't write that method, but uh, this would be a good suggestion. Not saving into a file at all. Okay. So after saving this file, so I'll just go to generate docx. You'll be passing job name, file name, page height, page width. This data will be coming from the JSON which we had just refactored, page height and page width. Okay. This is not like Python's where we are accessing data square bracket after the then say square bracket height. It's like that. I think Blank can explain better than this. Some there is some, I think some, it's called as closure or something in JavaScript. I don't know. I'm not a Node.js guy. Okay, I'm just saying that. In this generating docx, I'm using Office Gen as one library here. I'll be specifying what is the type of format which I want to download, docx, and it should be in portrait only. First, I'll specify the margins. Let it be 500. Don't keep over 500 because 500 will be small only, 0.5 centimeter small. Because when you are specifying rather than more than 500, your blocks will break. You can't adjust that bounding box to that blocks. We can't adjust. We can't able to onboard that bounding box parameters to this docx because as it's a floating pointers. Okay. Rather than that, we have to do what? HTML, PDF, docx, or docx to PDF. You can convert either way, but you have to align in that format. That alignment we have to think of that. Yes, Murugant.
Yes, Shri. So this 500 we kept because we assume that the paper size is A4. So that's why we keep the margin as per the.
Yeah. For that only, as we are kept for portrait, no. So I have
Yeah.
verified and I kept it as 500 point something. Yeah, got it. Thanks. So even I'm specifying the page height and width. Height and width it's specified via the page height and width which I will be getting from where the JSON data. The bounding box will be giving the height and width. Okay. Now let's write the docx function. So here the docx is already initialized. Next, Uh, these are the final functions. Not to worry about that. So in JavaScript, you can write function anywhere and call anywhere. That's kind of like that. Okay. Now you'll read the source JSON file, source.json, which we just wrote. We will read that file and we'll parse it as JSON format. Okay. Next, we'll loop over all the array and we'll see for the attributes. If there is a bold, if bold is there and the text need to be kept to bold, or if there is a table, we need to align to docx table. We need to create table structure there. If there is image, we need to add image. Currently, neither of the tool is having feasibility to add image as a background. It will be added in a page itself. It can't be added by a background. Okay, that's one disadvantage. But I think if we look deeper, we can overcome all these things. Now I will specifying font color, font size, text left, text family, text left. All these things are coming from the container box itself. Now create p is a function where the docx, the office gen. If you go through the package, it's there to create a docx. So let's say first, if this if condition says that if it is not a table or an image, and it goes to tokenize sentences and loops over and add this text to that particular block, whatever is there. So for that, you need font size, font color, font family. If it is a bold or not, is bold we will be getting from is bold functionality. This one, okay. Indentation, we are keeping it in left only. We are not keeping right. We are not keeping center. We're keeping left completely. Okay. Now, if it is table and not image, so for that, I have specified one generate table function, wherein you will be taking table array for columns, rows, row index. Okay. This utils calls, it will loop over all the table structured. So each and every table will be having cell. In each cell, you will be having that word table structure. So for this, you'll go to tokenize sentences. If there is nothing is there, no value is there, just make it as null. Don't do anything. So the logic is written in such a way that if there is a child cell index of 0, it needs to be done as column. That will be done as column. Okay. And cell width also currently statically specified as 1800, because I can't onboard all the huge number of tables into one docx as kept in portrait format. We have to make in such a way that if identified if it is a landscape or a portrait or a big number document, we have to make it in smaller version. I think for V2 version, we have to refactor all these things. For the current version, I've kept it as statically. Okay. This will see the child one. So this will check for row index. So wherever the row starts, where is the column length, these lengths will be coming from where? From the table structure only. Okay. Now just add an array and push it to that column. Whichever is a column, add it to column. Whichever is row, which add it to that row. Okay. Lastly, just join the rows. These functionalities, it comes from the document. Okay. This is table part. Next, where did I go? Next, that's all. Create table is done. If image is there, I'm adding that image. I'm not adding any background. I don't have any background at all. I'm just adding that image. That's all. Now just create with respect to the job name and a file name and send it over. So currently that's the procedure. So in UI, it's changing and it's downloading. Okay. You can see here. Let me just restart the npm so I just started the server. Here I'm running on local UI. I'm already running here. Okay. I got this thing. This is one file. Okay. I'll just send a request. I'll get the response back. As because I'm using the content handler internally via HTTP. I'll get some gibberish response via Postman and anything. Okay. I have feasibility to save to a file. Right. I'll just save as save to file response docx sample in download folder. Okay, I have downloaded docx sample. See, I will get like this. There is an image added. If it is image, all the images. See, the original document looks like this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This is not the one. Let me add this only. This is the digitization one. You download, you'll get this kind of thing. The same way which I showed you. So this is, I'll show you the translation one also. This is digitization, translate, translate, translate. Okay. Dot PDF completed. Let's take this one example. Okay. This is one PDF. Okay. I just want to download it as docx. I will download it as docx. The functionality will be called. These are the logs I have specified there. Calling content handler options inside status 200, finished reading data, saving response. So it doesn't have any logging functionality like saving to Elasticsearch or such thing. Don't have any auditor kind of thing like that. So this is how it looks like. If it is a bold, it will make it as bold. Else will make it as small and clear. For translation, it's coming properly and it's good. Digitization, it is good, but you need to have some more data to add bold, font size, font color, font structure. We can see this one. This is having good amount of good. The data is good and this one is also good. But we can see page numbers and all it's coming in between because topics is floating point and it will be cluster and it will be compressed. I can't specify okay, for this page, this one has to be added there. It can be done, but you have to refactor some more and have to process. So it will get like this. This is somewhat this kind of data. So, and if you see this, that, okay, where did I go? Source. One second, wait. Okay. From this upload folder only, there is any images are there. Images also will be loaded here, and then it will be replaced. When making new file, it will be destroyed on this folder. Say like this is the file we open. This is the file which I just opened. If it has images or any text, this is a text, but it has some minor small. I mean, color will be also specified as it is a digital document. The color also will be specified. If this is specified, docx will be in a very nice position and it can give in nice format. This is what it looks like. And for that, JSON format will be changed because this is different. This has some 136 pages, something structure. For that, this font color is there, font family is there, text is there, text of text less tokenized sentences are there, blocks are there. And attribute, if it is stable in the attribute, it will be added, made as a table structure, else different. Okay, I would suggest that this should be refactored in a lot. I can think Milan can take up and we can make it possible. So the same structure and the same logic goes for digitization also. Not more than that. Same structure, but different API, same functionalities. Okay. This is docx
So for
download.
now, the only difference between both of them is the OCR content handler API and the content handler
Content
API
handler
that they
API.
get. There
Yes.
is no other change logically between them. Okay.
Nothing. So this is the thing. I think this concludes. This is for docx download and OCR content handler. There is any question you can ask me.
We'll need to go through first.
Yeah, for sure. Did you get it, Mrigank? Mrigank?
Yes, yes, got
Yeah,
it.
you got the approach. Moving forward, I
Yeah,
think you wanna refactor all these things. Okay,
getting it.
sure then. I think if there's no questions, yeah, we can conclude now. Okay, sure. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.